Good morning. I'm Peter Milios from the Finance News Network. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rallied on Thursday to a new high for the year as more cooling inflation data and strong Salesforce earnings capped the benchmark's best month since October 2022. The 30-stock Dow gains 1.47%, surpassing its previous high for the year in August. The S&P 500 added 0.4%, and the Nasdaq Composite was about 0.2% lower as investors took some profits in big tech stocks that have led the November comeback. The Dow is closing out November with an 8.9% gain, breaking its 3-month losing streak. The S&P 500 rose 8.9% in November, while the Nasdaq advanced 10.7%. Both averages had their best monthly performances since July 2022. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq Composite were trading about 1% away from their respective 2023 highs. Leading the Dow higher on Thursday is cloud software company Salesforce, which popped 9.4% on the back of better than expected earnings and revenue for the fiscal third quarter. Salesforce's cloud data business, which saw its revenue increase by 22% from the previous year, and its artificial intelligence product Einstein GPT were behind the positive report. Healthcare companies United Group, Johnson & Johnson, Merck, and Amgen also led the index higher. Data released early on Thursday showed that the Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index, the Federal Reserve's favorite inflation gauge, rose 3.5% on a year-over-year basis, a slowing from a 3.7% annual gain in the prior month. These numbers were the latest in a string of positive inflation data seen in November that caused traders to conclude the Federal Reserve is likely done raising rates and could even begin lowering them in 2024. The 10-year Treasury yield, which had spooked investors by rising above 5% last month, collapsed this month as the cooling inflation data rolled out, helping to boost sentiment for equities. The 10-year yield was recently more than 9 basis points higher at 4.363%. Nvidia shed 2.9% on Thursday, but is still up 14% for the month. Tesla shares were off by 1.7% on Thursday, following a roughly 19.5% comeback in November. Alphabet and Meta lost 1.8% and 1.5% during the day, respectively. Turning to US sectors now, most closed higher overnight. Communication services was the worst performer. Looking ahead to the Australian landscape, the SPI futures are pointing to a 9-point loss. Thank you for listening.